Hello and welcome back to the Super Lawyer YouTube channel. Today, we are pleased to welcome Advocate Akshay Goel. Sir is a highly regarded advocate specializing in litigation and corporate matters and is also empaneled with PNB and IIFCL. Sir is an award winning international arbitrator, a mentor for the NGO called Youth Against Injustice Foundation, and a co author of the book Lectures on the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Also, as the founder of AG and Associates, a renowned Delhi based law firm, he has consistently delivered innovative and reliable legal services across the country for the past 13 years. We welcome you today, sir. My name is Anshi Mabdal and I work as an associate with the Super Lawyer platform. I'd like to introduce you to Divya ma'am. Divya Dwivedi ma'am is our team leader at Super Lawyers and has extensive expertise in legal and technology matters, including AI, ethics, privacy, and other related areas. Also practices as the Supreme Court and offers valuable insights into complex legal and technological issues. Thank you so much for being with us today, sir, and request Divya ma'am now to please continue the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Anshi, for introducing Sir to us. Advocate Akshay Goel, Ji, you are most welcome to our platform, and I'm so humbled today that we will be hosting you. Thank you for giving us this much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let me start with your accomplishments, and then we'll get to the very first question. We would love to learn more about how much do you enjoy mentoring the NGO called Youth Against Injustice Foundation, and how you ended up co-authoring a book at this young age. With your past 13 years of experience, we would love to first know how did you end up doing law and what was the motivation behind it?
So thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. To start with, I'm a first generation lawyer. I do not have anybody who is a lawyer in my family or having any legal background. I mostly belong to a family of engineers. So I am a rebel for them because they wanted me to pursue engineering, but I chose this career due to peer pressure. I was made to choose PCM in my 11th and 12th, but I choose not to pursue engineering after my 12th. And the reason behind that was I lost my father at a very young age, and I got to know that there are very minute nuances which you have to take into consideration while even getting a death certificate made for a person, or to get the bank account transferred or closed. A thing that triggered was that in the post office they had updated my mother's name as in a different spelling. So we had to run to court to get an affidavit made and to say that this name and this name is similar, and it belongs to the same person. So that was a trigger point for me to see that this particular profession needs me. So I should do something that this these kind of vessels are not there with people, and I can help out in other people who face such issues. So I joined LLB course from Pune, New Law College, Bharatiya Vidyapith University, and then after completing my LLB, I was very fortunate to start a career with a lawyer in defense colony, and he gave me a very free hand that you go and argue the cases from the very first day. And with his support and all, I started gaining confidence in appearing before the courts and doing all the legal work like drafting, research, and court appearances, and all the miscellaneous clerical work also I got to learn. And within 5 or 6 months of my career, I got my first case, independent case, which was before the Delhi High Court. It was a writ petition, a service matter. And it is always appropriate to say never. When I joined this profession, I was like that I will not do any service matters. And my first independent case was a service writ petition. So eventually I got a favorable judgment in my favor against against a government organization. And it started my career as a independent lawyer, and I started taking up independent cases also. Then I started getting different small cases, small assignments side by side. I was doing that. I, in fact, in 2012, I joined LLM from ILI evening course. So I was running from pillar to post. That like in the morning I was in the court, in afternoon I was in office, then in evening I was in college, and in some days I was again to office after my college was over at 8 p.m. It it gave me a confidence that I can do a lot with limited resources which I had. And after completing my LLM, I became an independent lawyer. I was working with certain companies on a retainership basis while pursuing my LLM. And after that, I thought that I should start a law firm which can help out or the young lords, and also to mentor them so that they should get what we didn't get at the beginning of our career. So I've been trying to mentor interns and associates which I had been hiring, or which have been coming to my office to learn something. And so my motto is to, if somebody comes to your office, you should teach them. It should not be that you are just for the sake of giving them a certificate, you are hiring them, or you are giving them an opportunity to join their office. You should also teach them the nuances which they can learn in the limited time which they come for, because interns come for around 1 month or 2 months maximum. So I try to give them as much learning which I can, because I have different types of works which I am dealing with, because my firm is a litigation firm also and a consulting firm also, wherein we are doing company secretarial work also. And we divide works in that on that basis, that these interns will, on the basis of their interest also, that whether they are interested in litigation or whether they are interested in purely corporate law. So we give them an opportunity to learn all these nuances. This and during this 13 years, there was COVID also, which took a lot of toll to our profession and to my work also. It was a phase which gave me time towards my family, but and also to learn things. One of my friend, he offered me that we should write a book on CPC. So I thought that I started doing that, and during that COVID period, we worked on that. So eventually we are still working on it, because that the co-author of my book got busy in his PhD. So we'll be finishing it and getting it published in this year, most probably. So our work is almost done, but the only part that the reviewing and all those things is pending on his part. Because of his PhD, it got stuck. So this is how I have been doing in all these 13 years of my career.
Technically, we can safely say that even rebels have a way of getting the best out of whatever they choose. I happen to be an engineer turned lawyer. So I enjoy the both worlds. I would love to understand about your decision to start your LLM, because usually it is said that when you have done law and you're doing litigation, there is no need. How did that enhance your presence in legal fraternity? Second question in the same is, how did you decide on your specialization of having criminal law as the major in LLM? Because that's something which gives you a very specialized understanding, that to a prestigious institute like ILI. So how did you choose that? We would love to understand that aspect as well.
Ma'am, to start with, I've been inclined towards teaching also from the very beginning. I used to teach my junior students, as in the junior batch students, and while pursuing my LMP also. So there was an inclination towards teaching. So I thought that I should pursue LLM. And I wanted to pursue it from the very best college. And I also wanted to pursue my litigation side by side, because that is what my passion is, to go to courts and appear before a court of law. There were only two institutes in Delhi which were providing this 3-year evening course. One was ILI and one was DU. And so I chose ILI because it is a very renowned college, one of the best in India to pursue LLM. And I filled up the form. I gave an entrance exam, and luckily I got selected. And I had heard that you get to meet and be a part of this institution, and the alumni which this institute has in evening course. Like, I happen to be a batchmate of an IPS officer, an IAS, and IRS, and two IAS, one IRS, and one IPS officer. I thought that this will help us to understand how they work, how they are at being at this stage of their career, at being at the top of their career. They are still hunger about pursuing courses and managing this government organization or a entire state, and side by side they are pursuing their dreams of completing LLM or any higher studies. So I thought that I should join this institute, and the presence which I got was that this institute was backed by the Supreme Court of India. So we got to meet and greet the Supreme Court judges very often. They used to come to our college, and very renowned uh, lecturers used to come to give guest lectures. So it was overall a very good experience. And one more thing which I got to learn in this college was that during my LLB and in the very first year of my college, I was a person who used to do my work at a prior stage. I was not a 11th hour person. So this college taught me that, how to work at the 11th hour, how to complete your assignments when you don't have time, and how to prepare for the examination on the very last day of the examination. And that has helped me now also, because if something comes up which I have to file urgently, so it doesn't give me any pressure. Earlier, it used to pressurize me a lot when I was in college, that this thing has not, I am not able to complete this might, it will hamper my things and all those things. I used to be disciplined about doing things on time and before time. But this college and this course helped me to do a thing at the 11th hour. So this was a thing which helped me while pursuing my LLM, and this has helped me throughout my career also after doing this. And I have been getting the teaching opportunities also side by side while pursuing my litigation career also. So this course has helped me to get those opportunities. So this was a thing which made me do or pursue this LLM.
Wow, what a beautiful answer that you learned how to do things on the last minute or rather 11th hour. This will be a very beautiful comment for ILI, I guess, if they get to know about it. We would also like to understand, like, in between your first answer, you were talking about your law firm, which is a litigation and consulting law firm at the same time. If you don't mind, we would like to understand the difference between these two concepts of litigation and consulting, although almost everyone of us know it. But then, how is it different in India and other jurisdictions around the world? Because many a times it is confused that a law firm can either be of litigation format or a consulting format, but not both. So, how have you maintained that balance?
So to maintain that balance, my partner, who happens to be my wife, she's a company secretary. So she is handling the consultancy part, and I am handling the litigation and legal part. So we have divided the work and the assignments on that basis. And to answer the question that what is the difference? The difference is that a consult to a legal firm or a law firm, we are mostly pursued by a client to take care of the legal aspects, as in a legal case or a vetting or drafting of an agreement or IPR filings or any legal consultancy which we could provide, or legal opinion which we can provide to them. So they mostly prefer a law firm for that. But if I say that I will get your company registered today, they will not prefer a lawyer over a practicing CA or a practicing CS. And there is a practical hurdle also, that we cannot put our digital signatures on the forms which are filed while making a company, while incorporating a company. So you need to have a practicing CS or a CA with you. My wife is a practicing CS, so she does all the work. I can portray my firm as a consultancy firm by saying that we are a one-stop solution for all your business needs. That if you want to incorporate your company, so we can help you in that. And if you want to wind up your company, we can help you in that also. So we are there with you from the beginning to the end. So the consultancy services are there to help you in taxation, to help you in secretarial compliances, to help you in auditing, to help you in all those things. And legal part would be to help you in all the legal issues which you might face. You might need a lawyer for your legal opinions, for negotiation of your agreements. But you will also need a company secretary for side by side pursuing your secretarial compliances, all your compliances. We help them as a virtual CFO. We are helping many startups to giving them solution to every problem which they might face. We are incorporating them. We are taking care of all the compliances, all their audits. And if in case they face any legal issue and supposedly they want to have a funding round, so we help them in negotiating their funding documents, all the agreements which they might have to enter into, all the valuation part and all the business proposals which they want to make. So we are helping them. So the consultancy firm will be helping them with this, with all the back end jobs, and the legal firm are helping them with the work which is done on the field. This is a basic difference, but the consultants, we lawyers also provide a consultancy, but that is mostly limited to a legal aspect. But a consultancy firm in as a whole can provide you a full package.
So, Akshayji, I cannot stop myself but ask that you have an amazing partner with whom you can start a consulting firm along with your legal consulting as well, legal litigation thing. Was that the only inspiration behind establishing your own legal practice at such an early stage? And when you started, what kind of challenges did you face during the foundation of this firm? And then how did you navigate through the obstacles that you may have faced? How did you get your cases for your law firm and litigation and consulting firm? How was it helpful from the beginning of your career until the establishment of your firm and making it one of the unique law firms in Delhi?
The answer to the first question is that I had started my firm before my marriage itself. The inspiration was not my wife to say, but I wanted to establish a law firm and to take it to heights. So I started in after doing my LLM, and the problems which I faced was during my initial phase when I started it. It was basically a thing that many people and many known people committed that they will give work to me, that they will hire me on a retainership basis, and I'll get to get cases from them and all those things. But they backed out. I was at a very low phase when I started it. So all my investment was done in the office which I started and all those things with the savings which I had. So I used to get 2, 3 cases a month or all those things. So to run my house also, to take care of my EMIs which I had. And slowly I got in touch with few people who helped me out in getting cases. And this helped me in starting to establish a firm ground in the on the market. So I started getting work. I I was a it is said that you don't get work from social media, but I got one of my very big clients, I do not want to name, from Facebook. It was a thing that one of the person messaged me on Facebook that he needs an help in certain thing. I didn't know that he was from a certain company or such thing or any such. So I just gave my number to him. I helped him, uh, and it eventually developed into a very good relationship. I worked for that company for almost 5, 6 years, and after that they moved forward. I also moved forward, and getting cases. I got cases from WhatsApp groups also for many big corporates. I was lucky in that sense, and I work for them. In fact, if in case there was a need to do any pro bono work or any such thing, so I was up for it, and that helped me and getting cases, because that pro bono work made a work, mouth publicity of my firm and my work. The people started giving my references that this is a person who will take care of your work with honesty and with 100% professional commitment. And it it also helped me after COVID, because during COVID the work was almost, it had come to a standstill. And so it took me just 2 to 3 months to again get back on the feet and again started getting clients and all the work which was not coming during the COVID period, because the corporates were shut. The market was totally not sure what will happen. So that struggle was there, but I was giving my 100%. I was doing all the hard works. I used to I used to travel a lot for work. I I still, despite being having 5, 6 associates, I still go to, if I have to go to 3, 4 courts in a day, I do not shy away from going to all the courts if I have to. So the hard work pays you. You have to gain knowledge. You have to do hard work. You should not run for money at the initial stage. If you have to give pro bono services to your clients, you should give, so that they at least, आपको पैसा नहीं मिलेगा तो आपको माउथ पब्लिसिटी मिलेगी. उस That mouth publicity also helps, because we as a professional are not allowed to do a proper marketing. So that mouth publicity, that credibility, that visibility helps. You need to be before the court. You need to be before your clients. You need to give them a honest advice. We should not give them an advice कि आप केस कर दीजिए, हम देख लेंगे. You should give them honest advice that this these are the pros and cons of going into this litigation, or these are the things which might help you in going into litigation. From going into litigation, if you have a chance to reconcile, or if you have a chance to settle this issue outside, you should do it before availing our services. Well, I am not a person who will give an advice that you avail my service and I will, get this thing done. If this thing can be done without even availing my services, I am happy to even help you pro bono, so that you can get out of this mess which you are coming into. This has helped me a lot during my career. And Yes, my wife, when we got married, so it has helped me to expand. The expansion happened after my marriage, that the consultancy part started after my marriage. I was only limited to my legal thing. She motivated me to go to expand my horizons, to think about going global, think about b- giving this consultancy services also. So that has helped us to expand our firm to, in fact, to now GCC region also. We have a partner office in Dubai, so we are giving services in GCC region also.
What a beautiful journey. But I won't say, like you said, that it was only luck, it was your hard work. And as you were present in those social media sites, say Facebook or even WhatsApp groups, you were right, ready and equipped to work for pro bono as well. And I guess that became more prominent, that people started reaching out to you. I won't say it was just luck, it was just
Luck and hard work both simultaneously.
absolutely. Keeping all that in mind, we would like to move forward and understand. You are also an empaneled advocate for Punjab National Bank and IIFCL, that is India Infrastructure Finance Company Limited. We would request you to discuss some key challenges that you encounter while representing these public sector organizations,
Mhm.
especially both in litigation and corporate matters. What all have you faced? What kind of challenges, and how have you overcome or made a roadmap for overcoming such challenges?
Uh, I've been handling the litigation work, not the corporate work of these banks and financial institutions. So the challenge which comes to me is that we have to be on our feet. The trick which I have learned is that I should do the work before they ask me to, they follow up with me. And because I do not pursue that 11th hour thing which I learned in LLM for these organization, I am bit diligent to work for them. I diligently do all the drafting, all the compliances which are to be made before the court. I am diligent to give them all the updates. I send them the order sheets whenever the date is coming, or the thing which we have to do, and diligently follow up with them to get things done, because it is very difficult to get the things moved in government organizations, because there are a lot of approvals which are required. So I make sure that I go to them with the thing which is to be done at an early stage, or you can say on the very next day when we get to know what is there in the order with the order sheet, so that there is time for them to take an approval, we can and we can do the needful before the court registry or any such places. But uh, you also get to see how financial sector in our country is working, how loans are being given, how people are not repaying the things, but they are coming to courts and saying that we will do it, we were stuck in something, and uh, the grounds which they make that this was a ground because of which we were not able to pay the money, because the documents speaks for itself, and the documents say that they started defaulting at a very early stage of their loans, and still they are giving an excuse that we were not able to make the payment because of a bank official or because of any such. They only blame the bank or the financial institution. They are only that they had not given us the given us this notice for this. They had not given the taken the possession properly. They are not coming up with a proper documentation, or we were not given this particular document. We were made to sign this document without giving it before, without being informed. So these are the ground which they take, or the excuse which they take, which are big, which we I got to learn while pursuing cases for them. And the challenges are that we have to follow up with them very diligently, so that things are moved in a proper sense in the court. So these are the things which which I face and which I do for them.
With all of this going around and your booming litigation work and everything, you are also an independent director, registered with independent director database. How do you manage all this? And most importantly, how did you ended up doing this particular independent directorship and the kind of roles that you are serving as a professional? How do you manage that particular understanding of corporate governance and ethics that are supposed to be involved with these kind of business practices? Being a lawyer, how do you guide them through this whole process? Because as an independent director, you are an outsider for them. So how
Yes.
do you influence their thought process and becoming more ethical practice oriented and corporate governance oriented? Because this is absolutely a new thing. It's not a very old thing, and it is becoming a norm now. So how are you
Helping
is
people.
that for your companies?
So initially, I got a directorship in a company. I was appointed as an additional director in a company in 2014. I That's how I got my director identification number and all those things. I was a director for that company for around 1 year or so. So I was helping them with all their due diligence work, and all the corporate governance, all the things which which were uh, going on in the company. And later on, when I was not a director for around 3 years after that, and then there was a company which was getting listed, so they needed an independent director, and this was before this independent director scheme came. So I was appointed as an independent director for that company. It was not eventually it didn't got eventually didn't got listed, but I was an independent director. But I resigned because I was not able to handle their cases, because I was not able to sign a wakalatnama. I was not able to. I was not able to argue the cases also before the court, because I had limitations, because I was an independent director, and they were not letting me pursue the things which I could have done. So I resigned from that particular post. I said that I will now take care of a litigation part and all those things. And eventually, when this independent director database came, I got myself registered. And during that corona phase, when we were not working, as in courts were closed, so I gave that exam and qualified it. And later on, I got opportunity to become an independent director for one or two companies. And I have been helping them out with all their compliances which they should do. uh, the ICC committee which they should form. I have been guiding them that this is a basic norm which you should follow, and which is a mandate which needs to be done. I've been guiding them through their labor issues which they might face. They face, or they might face, because of a lack of knowledge which they might be having. Like the there are certain companies when there is one company for whom I am an independent director. They are into manufacturing, so I have been, and they have skilled labors also, skilled and unskilled labors. They were not paying. uh, They were not aware about the changes in the daily wage thing. So the daily wage of a labor got increased. They were not aware about it. So I made them aware, and I helped them in getting saved from this issue, because there might have been a day that some workmen might have approached a labor court or a labor commissioner that we are not getting the daily wage as per the new norm, and the company would have come under scrutiny. So I've been helping them out with all these things while being an independent director.
So there is a balance that you have already established and understood about. All this, now I would like to move forward and understand that you said that you love to give lectures as well. So as a guest lecturer at Dharmashastra National Law University, how do you engage with the law students, and what kind of strategies do you follow in order to bridge that particular gap between the kind of theoretical knowledge that they get over there and the practical applications that you talk about, which you have seen in your legal profession? The kind of advices that they look forward to, how do you prepare for those sessions where you have to make them understand that this is where your theory knowledge has to stop, and now you have to understand the practical bridge which has to work even before you enter the proper practice field? Because many a times it is said that whatever you read in your law schools, it will not be that helpful, but you have to understand the practicality of the same thing. So how do you do that?
Ma'am, while giving the guest lectures, while teaching them a theoretical part also, I give them examples of how this particular section or an order, like while I'm giving a lecture on a CPC, I give them hands-on experience as to how this particular order or a section is used in the court of law. Supposedly, I am teaching them about pleadings. So I'll tell them or teach them about how Order 7 or 11 application is filed, how you can argue on that particular application, how you file a case, how you draft it, what are the basic nuances which a drafting or a pleading should have. I I give them a format in the PPT or the presentation which I have made. I attach a format also to show that this is the basic thing which you should know about drafting. Material facts are always on case to case basis, but these are the basic things which is always there in a pleading. Like the case title which is there, the name of the parties, what is the thing which you are praying for, then who is the plaintiff, who is the defendant, then the limitation clause, the cause of action clause, the court fees clause, that the clause that you have not filed any such case earlier or any such similar cases pending, then the prayer clause, and then the verification clause. These are the clauses which need to be there in all the pleadings which you file. I don't tend to tell them that these are the basic nuances which you should know. The material facts which are you need to put will depend on the case to case basis. Then I tell them how to pursue client counseling. What is the practicality as to how you should cater a client, how you can generate that particular lead into paying client. So I sometimes tell them those nuances also. I I tend to give them the practical aspects as to what happens in a court. Like whenever I'm teaching jurisdiction, I give examples as to how pecuniary jurisdiction is decided in Delhi, because there is 3 lakh rupees jurisdiction limitation in Delhi, that below 3 lakhs, the case will be filed before the civil judge. Above 3 lakhs, it will be filed before the DJ. And above 2 crores, it will be filed directly before the High Court. I give them these kind of examples. I tend to give them examples about or teach them about the Commercial Courts Act also, which is a new norm now after 2015. Earlier, the recoveries cases used to be filed as a Order 37 suit or a normal recovery suit. But after this Commercial Court Act, any matter over 3 lakh is filed as a commercial suit. And these aspects are not mentioned in law books. There are no CPC books which mention about Commercial Court Act. I have read Takwani, I have read many other books. There is no mention about Commercial Court Act. And I have made it a point that while writing that book on CPC, I have added that part also. so that commercial court act is also, the students are well versed with that act also, because the index part which is there in the commercial court act is also a very technical part. So I tend to teach them that also, that what needs to be written in that index also, list of documents. So this is how I teach the students about the theoretical part and the practical part also, because I'm mostly called to teach them the practical part, so that they can learn that what how this law is used in courts.
Exactly, you just cannot teach the practical part or theoretical part in individuality. You have to connect it with the real term, like you are doing, because obviously you have extensive experience in the same. Doing all that, you are also heavily involved in international arbitration bodies such as DIAC, MIAC. You're also part of Young ICCA. How has your participation in these institutions impacted your practice and the kind of roles that you see these organizations play in relation to the commercial arbitration, which is now becoming a reality slowly by slowly? So, how do you see yourself and your law firm making an impact for the same in India?
Ma'am, I got attached with these institutions recently. I have not got hands-on experience of these institutions as of now. But having said that, the work which these institutions are doing, these institutions are helping out in institutional arbitrations. Earlier, the ad hoc arbitrations used to be done by retired judges only, but these institutions are paneling advocates also as an arbitrator, and they are giving fast track method to dispose of the ADR or the arbitration proceedings. And one more aspect which is now also coming into light is the emergency arbitration, which became a thing after that future group case that happened 2 3 years ago 2 years ago. So that also is uh, being provided by these institutions, so that you can get a interim order at a in a emergency manner, also in an urgent manner. So these institutions are helping out in that, but I do not have a hands-on experience as of now, because I recently got attached with them.
But you are definitely looking forward to being a
I am definitely looking for.
all of it.
I am definitely looking for.
Understand. Absolutely amazing, amazing. You're being too open and clear about what your goals are. After doing all this, and I don't know how you find time, but you'll have to tell us, how do you balance that particular time for your own personal work, your work life balance, and being a member of an NGO also, where you are committed to social justice? And how do you manage these kind of responsibilities, representing clients, and then being guest lecturer, being a part of arbitration, the commercial arbitration centers, and then doing this particular work, which is a very noble cause? You go to NGO Youth Against Injustice Foundation. How do you see yourself bringing that particular change in social justice, especially?
Answer to the first question, that how I manage my work-life balance. I know usually go on trips every month or every 2 months. I am on a vacation for 2 3 days. I spend my time with my family during those days, and my children also, so that they get to spend time with me, and they uh, so that they should not feel that I am away with all those commitment which I have. So I make it a point that every month or every 2 months, I go with them on a trip. I plan a trip and don't take any dates during those days which I am traveling. We as a lawyer get a lot of vacations in June or in summer vacations or winter vacation also, but I make it a point that I do not wait for those vacations to spend time with my family or my children. My wife is there with me in my office, but we need to spend our time with the children also. So we make it a point that we go on family trips and spend time with them. Regarding the social work which I am doing, the NGO which I am attached to, they are know, helping out uh, people in against false rape cases and also against the victims who are not able to go to police if they are being abused or harassed. So we are helping through this NGO in a sense that we are helping the victims of false cases also, and also the victim who are not able to pursue a case and are ashamed of going to a police station to get their FIR registered. They are afraid that how the authorities will treat them. So we help them out in that particular sense. So I've been mentoring them with the legal aspects, the members which get attached to this NGO also provide internship to students. So I give them guest lectures on the basic laws which they need to learn, and the if they become the uh, volunteer for this NGO at a later stage, so they should know that how they will be helping the victims and how they should guide them into pursuing a case which the for the thing which had happened with them. So I guide them with that particular knowledge of mine.
In a way, you are helping people get sensitized about this particular cause of being falsely implicated or not being able to go to the police for just filing even a simple FIR. So yes, it makes a lot of difference. And now I would love to thank you for giving us such a candid and absolutely crystal clear interview where you talked about what all changes have been brought in because of what you have been doing, the kind of law firm you have established, the kind of entry you got because of that particular senior in the chamber in defense colony. All of these things, they bring in a lot of impact on any person's life. Since we are at the almost the end of the interview, I would request you to give some of your golden nuggets for our learners as well. How should they prepare themselves for the kind of journey of litigation, either or corporate law or even for an NGO? What kind of suggestions would you like to give?
The suggestions would be to dream big. If you want to come into litigation, the if you get get settled in this profession, you can achieve a lot, but you need to go phase by phase. I I have been almost at the touching 15 years of my career, so I know I was taking it phase by phase. First 5 years of my practice was a first phase, which was totally about learning the nuances. The second phase was to get the work and to get the clients. And now this third phase is to getting the work done and to earn something also, which is the eventual goal of everybody. These are the phases which, and after this 15, the third phase of my career, the thing will be that to grow and grow. So I would also advise every law student or every person who wants to pursue law, they should also go by think that these are the phases which you need to face in this profession. You need to learn the basic things in the profession for the first 5 years, and then only you get clients during those first 5 years. That is your hard work and luck. And b- if you get those clients by your hard work and luck, you should know how to handle them. You should know how to give them the best services. You should know how to get them the relief which they have come to you. And for that, you should know all the nuances. And for that, you need to have the knowledge. So go for the knowledge first, and then you will start earning. So do not come in the profession only for the sake of earning, because this is a profession wherein you will earn, but at a later stage. But when you start earning, the sky will be the limit.
One has to first learn to earn in legal profession. Amazing advice. Thank you so much, Akshay sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
That's Super Lawyer YouTube channel. It has been an immense pleasure to have you and host you for this particular interview. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.